So hello students, and welcome again to Mehta PG College online study portal, and this is the second video for the lecture 4th again, and in this video we will proceed our examples where we have set up where we left, and let's begin with the new example here, saying that this is the example which is all about again changes into different reference frames, and for these two reference frames we will consider two different observers. So let's see what will happen if you have two different observers, then the same event would be seen in which sense or in which kind of sense. So let's begin with the example here. The example says that a thing which is falling from an aeroplane, thing is falling from an aeroplane, and now we are subjected to find out the trajectory here. Find the trajectory of the particle or of the thing here, of the thing, and the trajectory should be seen in two different cases. The cases are, first, it is seen by the pilot or a man in the aeroplane, seen by the pilot, and the second case, it is seen by an observer on the ground. Observer on the ground. Okay. So let's find out what will happen. Let's say you consider a particle which is falling out from an aeroplane. So let's see how the things will appear to you. If you can imagine, then this example is more exciting for you. And so how it is become exciting here? It becomes exciting in a sense, saying that a thing which is falling, but you remember that let's consider something, well, for example, I have considered this green mark as the moving aeroplane, and let's say this aeroplane is moving within a particular speed, and if anything falling from this aeroplane, yes, this aeroplane is moving in this sense, then this falling particle must have, some momentum, and if it has been fall from this position and the aeroplane is moving in that direction, so we will talk about this particle here. This particle, as this particle has some sort of momentum, so it will move along the path there and will fall down in this way. Okay, the particle has been fallen from this way, but is fall off after covering some distance there. So let's find out that how these things will appear to the pilot and how the thing will appear to a man who is standing on the ground. So let's find out. So beginning with the example, we will go for the mathematical expressions here. So let's go through the mathematical expressions and see what happens here. Let's say the solution here, saying that let's the height of the aeroplane, is said to be the h in meters in a sense. Well, this is not the height of a standing aeroplane. The height means the height at which the aeroplane is moving, the aeroplane is flying on that height. Let's say this is h, and the horizontal velocity here, horizontal velocity, let's say, is represented by v in a sense as the v meters per second here. Okay, so we got the velocity here, velocity v, and the height says is the height h in this sense. So let's find out. Okay, also consider coordinates. Yes, the coordinates of the plane, at time t is equals to 0 let's say this is 0 and h. Yes, let's say this is 0 and h at time t is equals to 0, and the coordinate aeroplane after some time would be, yes, what will be the value of coordinates here? This is at time t is equal to 0, and after a time t the coordinates will be we will go for the x coordinate and the y coordinate. If you can imagine yourself that the plane is flying over a constant height or at a uniform height, then you will come to know that the coordinate, the second coordinate, or in sense the y coordinate, will never change. There will be only a change in the x coordinate, and the change will be considered in sense of velocity and in sense of time t. Okay, let's say what did I say? Let's express it mathematically. The x coordinate, x is the direction, let's say this is the x direction in which the plane is moving, moving in my side. Okay, this is the direction in which the plane is moving with the velocity v, and the time taken is t. So this will be the x coordinate value, and what would be the value of y coordinate here? Well, the height isn't changing after all, because we consider that the plane is flying over a consistent height, or uniformity in its height is being maintained by the aeroplane. So you can say that y will again equals to h. So the new coordinates will be, you can say that the coordinates could be the vt and h. Yes, this is vt and h. So these are the new coordinates here. Okay, so as the parachute is falling, okay, the parachute in sense of the parachute, but the thing which is falling, let's say the thing falling is the parachute here. So the coordinates of parachute should be find out in a sense saying for the x axis and for the y axis both. So let's find out the coordinate of falling parachute. What would be the coordinates of falling parachute? Since the parachute is falling, yes. So now this time one coordinate remains the same. Which one coordinate? The coordinate x remains the same. This will again equals to the vt, because we have talked earlier, and I think that I have explained it pretty much well to you, that if anything which is moving with a reference frame, then certainly the thing will again got some sort of momentum here. So the momentum will remain the same as per the displacement of the horizontal component of a moving aeroplane. So x is equals to vt. So what should be the change? The change will be in the value of h, because h will get changed by a factor saying minus half gt square. Okay, so this is how the thing is falling there. The thing is falling just because of the gravity and falling with respect to the time. So height will be changed in this sense. Okay. Well, I am not going to draw any kind of figure here, because you can imagine the thing yourself. So I don't think so that if you need anything. So now we are subjected to find out the coordinates of parachute with respect to or in the reference of a pilot. So let's find out the coordinates in a sense of saying, first of all, the coordinates for the pilot will be, okay, so the coordinates for the pilot. So what should be the values of coordinates for the pilot? The values for coordinates saying the x coordinate, which is, this is the vt here, and it is changing by a factor saying vt. So you can say vt is changing with a factor vt. So what will what it will be? It will be equals to 0. So there will be no change, saying yes, there will be no change here. Okay, so now there will be no change for the coordinate x, but there will be a change for the coordinate y here. So what should be the change for the coordinate y here? Okay, so there should be some literal changes for the coordinate y also, saying that this is the x dash and this is for the y dash for the reference of pilot, and reference of pilot for the y axis here. So what should be in the direction of y, saying that this would be equals to the h minus h plus half gt square. So h should be cancelled with this one, and this will equals to the half gt square. So now what do you got? We got that for the reference of pilot, this value will not change. This value will not change, but the changes for the y axis only. So the parachute will appear falling vertically downwards to the pilot. The parachute will appear falling vertically downwards to the pilot. Okay. Sorry for some we got some technical issues there. So let's begin with the example here. This is for the appearance for the pilot here, because for the pilot the parachute which is falling will appears falling vertically downwards. In short, you can say that it is been seems that falling as a straight line. Why? Because the x coordinate has no variations for the pilot, so according to pilot there should be no variations, but for the y coordinate there will be changes according to the gravity only. So this means that according to the pilot, when he is moving in this direction, so he thinks that it will fall in the straight line, but actually it is not falling in the straight line. Why? According to the reference of the second person, which is an observer on the ground. So let's find out what will be the value for the observer standing on the ground. Let me clear this off again. Okay. So for the observer on the ground, so what kind of change is there? The changes will be seen clearly as well for the second reference here. You can see these are the coordinates for the falling parachute. This will remain the same for the observer on the ground, because he doesn't experience any kind of changes, so not so pretty much vast changes there. So this has been seen in the same equations, saying let's find out what should be the values here. Okay. So let's write out the coordinate equations here. The coordinates of falling parachute, saying the falling coordinates, falling parachute. So what should be the values of falling parachute coordinates? Saying the x is equals to Vt, if you remember, and y is equals to h minus half gt square. Well, these are the coordinates which are changing with time. Okay. Yes, these are the coordinates which are changing with time, but we are supposed to deal with some coordinates which are not changing with time. Okay, we will eliminate this time value for both of these equations. We are supposed to eliminate these values, because for an observer who is on the ground, everything will appears him in a sense with no time sense, because he is not moving in a particular direction, because we assume that the person is standing on the ground. Yes, he is standing, so means there is no motion. Yes, there is no motion there. So let's find out for this kind of observer. So let's eliminate time t here. Eliminating time t from our equations. So when you eliminate the time t, then you will end up having an equation saying, which is saying that x square is equals to two v square upon g into h minus y. Into h minus y. If you remember, this is an equation for a projectile. Yes, this is an equation for projectile, and which kind of projectile? Saying the path, the equation of parabola, saying which is x square is equal to some sort of constant here, saying x minus y, and some constant c minus y there. This is an equation of parabola. So it means the parachute seems to be falling with a parabolic trajectory. With a parabolic trajectory. So there is a difference between the perspective of both the two observers. The observer which is inside the plane, it means which is a pilot there. For pilot, the thing appears to be falling vertically downwards with no changes, but for a man who is standing on the ground, the things will appear falling parabolically. Yes, it will follow a parabolic path, and this is the velocity in the direction of this is the direction of the moving plane, and maybe this is the highest height which is assumed that h at which the plane is moving. So this is the path being seen by an observer who is standing on the ground. So this is the one of the most main examples. You can mark it as the most important example according to your exam point of view. So this is for this lecture, and that's all the main examples we have discussed for the lecture 4th, and thank you very much for watching the lecture again. You continue learning with our new videos, and for more of our videos you can subscribe to our channel and press the bell icon. And if you learn something new for this video, then you can like this video, and maybe in your sense that is up to you. So thank you very much again, and have a great day and happy learning. So this is the Mehta PG College online study portal signing off. Hello students, and a pleasant morning to you, and welcome back again to the Mehta PG College online study portal. This is our lecture 4th of our series, which is not been completed due to some technical reasons, and today in this video we will continue our numerical approach for the physical laws or the frame of reference. So we have discussed some certain important examples in our previous videos. This video is another part of the lecture 4th, and this may be considered as the 3rd part in a sense. So in this video we will continue our numerical approach with some certain numerical examples. Well, this chapter doesn't contain much load of examples, so that we will continue with some most important, but this contains only 9 to 10 examples, so we will consider all of them. And in this lecture we will try to complete, and we will try to learn new concepts, and we will use our pre-learned concepts from the previous lecture, saying the lecture 1, 2 and 3. And so let's begin with the example approach here, numerical approach here. But before starting the video, I would like to request you that if you hadn't subscribed the channel yet, then please go and subscribe the channel and press the bell icon for future notification, and to watch these kind of videos for your future reference. And if you learn something new from the videos, then please like the videos. You can even give a thumbs down if you wish to, and consider sharing this video with your friends. So without wasting any time, let's get started with our numerical examples here. We have one more example in here that we have discussed, the example of a falling parachute. If you remember, the falling parachute example is the most important example you can consider. In the falling parachute, we have tried to observe the situation for two different persons who are in the different reference frames. The person who is inside the plane, or we have discussed the concept of a pilot here. So the pilot who is who is flying the plane there, according to the pilot, the falling parachute is assumed to be falling in a straight line. There should be no projectile motion, but a person who is standing on the ground, the falling parachute will appear to him as a following parabola. We have got the parabola equations for our in our numerical approach, in our numerical calculation. So let's begin with a new example which has some more deep concepts. Okay, so let's find a new example here. So now we will use our not only the numerical approach but also some conceptual approach here. He is saying that a river is flowing towards east with a velocity towards east. Here east means you have given an axial notification. So let's begin with the axial notification there. For example, you can consider all the directions in this way. This you say is the east, and this is west, this is north, and this is south. And this is, as per you can consider, is the origin here. Well, this figure resembles something that we have discussed earlier. Yes, it resembles to a two-dimensional planar representation in which this particular axis, the east-west axis, appears to you as the x-axis, and the north-south axis appears as the y-axis. Yes, you can consider this one particular axis here as the x-axis and this axis as the y-axis. So they will give you some certain direction, saying the x-axis, the associated unit vector is I cap, and for y-axis the associated unit vector you say is j cap. This one has a particular I cap, and this one has a unit vector saying the j cap. Okay, so let's begin with the example again. It says that a river is flowing into east direction. Yes, the direction is east. This is the question here. A river flowing in the east direction. Yes, it is flowing in the east direction with a velocity, What is the velocity here? It says it is a 6 km per hour. It says it is 6 km per hour. Yes, this is the 6 km per hour. This is the velocity of the flowing river. Okay. Also, it consider that a boat is going towards north. Yes, this is the direction of flow of the river. Also, it consider a boat is flowing towards north direction. Yes, a boat is flowing towards the north direction. So the velocity of boat is also given with a velocity of 8 km per hour, with a velocity km per hour. This is the question here. So what we are subjected to find out? This is the velocity with respect to water, and we are subjected to find out the velocity of boat with respect to earth. Yes, now consider the situation here. In this situation, the river is flowing in this direction. This particular direction is the flow of river well, this is the flow here, and consider a boat is flowing in this direction. We have given two velocities, saying this velocity is the 6 km per hour, and this velocity, just because of water or with respect to water, is given as 8 km per hour. Yes, we have given two velocities. Now we are subjected to find out the velocity of boat with respect to earth. So let's find out. Let's begin with the solution here. Okay, let's begin with the solution. Okay. Now for the solution, we will consider that the river is flowing in this direction, so the unit vector associated with the velocity is considered to be I cap here. I don't think so that if there is any much more confusions, I don't think so that if there is any confusion. Saying the velocity for river you say is the VR for your reference, then it will be 6 I cap. Yes, this is following in the positive x direction, so I said this is the positive 6 I cap kilometer per hour. Yes, the unit here is the kilometer per hour. And the velocity of boat you say VB for your reference, VB here. And what should be the velocity here? The velocity must be the 8 J cap kilometer per hour. Sorry, with respect to water it says, so with respect to water the velocity must be equals to 8 I cap kilometer. This is 8 J cap kilometer per hour. You remember why did I write I cap here and why did I write J cap here? The I cap here represents the positive east direction and the J cap represents here the positive y direction. Okay, so here are two directions saying the unit vector associated with the east direction and the unit vector associated with the northward direction. Okay, so that's why I written here the I cap and the J cap. Okay, if you remember the concept of our frames of reference, then you will get to know that the velocity with respect to another reference frame, saying the another reference frame which is the earth. So we will consider this by the Galilean transformation equations. Okay, let's use the Galilean transformation equations here. From Galilean transformation equations, now from Galilean transformation equations. Okay, from Galilean transformation equation what we will have? We will have another reference saying the VE. You say this is VBW and this you say VBE. And what does this value will equals to? This value will equals to this value VBW minus V of R. Okay, so what should be the values here? The value would be here is this is 8 J cap. Yes, this is 8 J cap minus 6 I cap. Well, this is the vector representation here. So we will get to calculate our scalar velocity also. So to calculating the scalar velocity, what we will do, we will just simply square up the quantities here, saying the VBE. Now the VBE, which is the scalar representation, will be equals to under the root 6 square plus 8 square. What does this value approaches to? This is 36 and this is 64, and this is again the 100 and the square of 100 and maybe the square root saying that is the 10 kilometer per hour. This is certainly to be said that this must be equal to saying the plus minus 10, but if you consider, if you got to know some practical approach, the velocity could never be negative because the displacement could be 0, not negative. Sorry, the distance could be 0, minimum distance could be 0, can be 0, but not less than that. So that's why the velocity should be considered the positive value only. We do not consider the negative value. That's why the velocity is said to be the 10 kilometer per hour here. I don't think so that if this one example is any more difficult for you. Well, this is the magnitude here. Yes, we are talking about the magnitude form, which is the 10 kilometer per hour. This is the solution we are subjected to come up with. I hope that you got the answer pretty much well, and you can calculate it yourself in the same way as I calculated here. This will be pretty much more easier for you if you remember the concept of the Galilean transformation equations, and if you hadn't watched the Galilean transformation equation, then please go and check lecture 3rd of our series, and there you will get all the conceptual knowledge of Galilean transformation equations. And if you have any complications with the Galilean transformation, then you can go and check out our 2nd lecture, in which we have discussed the coordinate transformation, and then the things will be more easier for you. Okay, so let me be aside, and you can take a screenshot for your reference, and then we will proceed further. Okay, so we will use this same concept again, and we have one more example to go. Okay, let's find some workspace and clear this off, and then we will proceed. I hope that these things are pretty much easier for you by now. We will need this figure again, so I'll gonna draw this again. Okay, so what do it say? It says that an observer is moving towards east. An observer is moving towards east. You remember the direction here? Keep it in mind that we are talking about the east direction, so we will consider only the positive approach for that particular direction. Yes, the observer is moving in the east direction with a velocity of 2 km per hour. Yes, it has velocity, it says the 2 km per hour. The velocity here is the 2 km per hour. He observed that air is coming from north. Yes, air is coming from north. This is one more thing to notice. Air is coming from north. So he doubles his velocity. When he doubles his velocity, air appears to be coming from northeast. When he doubles his velocity, air appears to be coming from northeast. Okay, so let's check out the example here, and let's get our numerical approach, saying that the observer is moving in the east direction. Okay, so we have something, the axial representation in this way. Yes, this is the east direction in which the observer is moving. This is pretty much similar example as that in the previous lecture, in the previous question. Yes, this is the east direction in which the observer is moving. Yes, this is the direction in which observer is moving, saying this is the x-axis for our approach and this is y-axis, and air is coming from north. Yes, air is coming in this direction and observer is moving in this direction. So you can consider yourself that the thing is pretty much more complicated by now. Okay, this is the way in which the observer is moving in the east direction. Yes, he is moving in the east direction, so it means that he is moving in the positive x direction. Okay, but by now the air is coming from north. Yes, it is coming from north. So coming from north states that the air is going into the negative y direction. Yes, this will going to the negative y direction, and this is going to the positive x direction. Okay, so this is going to the positive x direction and this is going to the negative y direction. Okay, the unit vector associated as the j cap here, and the unit vector associated is the I cap here. Okay, there are two unit vectors associated, but when it doubles its velocity, the air seems to be coming from this particular direction, saying the northeast direction. Okay, so let's find out what do we have. This is representing something like as the triangular law of vector addition or such kind of that expressions here. Let's find out what we will get to go through this. Okay. So the unit vector associated, you come up with the unit vector associated saying the j cap and the I cap. So let's coming to the solutions here. Okay, within the solution, let's say that if air is moving in the north direction, then the velocity of air with respect to earth, yes, the velocity of air with respect to earth, saying this is the v vector, and this will equals to I cap Vx plus j cap Vy, I cap Vx plus j cap Vy kilometer per hour. You know why did I wrote this thing here? Because every time when you consider air flow, the air flow always in the horizon but not the vertical here. Okay, you are considering this plane is not in vertical position, this you consider yourself as in the horizon. Yes, this has horizontal position, and these two axes represents the horizontal displacements there. Air is flowing in this particular direction from the board towards you. Okay, this is the flow of air in sense. So this is, you say, the positive east direction, this is the negative east direction or the west direction, and this is the positive north direction which is coming to you, the negative north direction, because it is coming from the north towards the south. Okay, so it is following the negative north direction. If you consider these four directional implements here, the segments here, as the axial representation, then east west axis will give you the x axis representation, the north south will give you the y axis representation. So which one is positive? Every time east represents the positive x direction, and the y represents here, the north represents here the positive y direction. Okay, so that's why I written the air flow in both the axes, saying this is the according to the earth. Okay, okay, so the velocity of observer, now the velocity of observer, if you remember the velocity saying, let's say this is VO for example, which is the 2 I cap kilometer per hour. Well, you got the concept here. Why did I write here 2 I cap here? Okay, so now the velocity of air with respect to observer is the velocity of air with respect to observer is, you say, velocity of air with respect to observer, let's say the VA naught or VAO in some reference, saying this is equals to minus j cap Vy. Yes, I should write Vy here, which is the y dash component here, and this must be, you say, the Vy dash kilometer per hour. Why did I write dash here? Because this is the second frame of reference and the primary frame of reference was the earth. Okay, so this is for the earth reference frame, Vy is for the earth reference frame, and Vy dash is for the observer's reference frame. So now, using the Galilean transformation equation, what we will end up having, using Galilean transformation equations, using Galilean transformation equation. So we will transform one reference frame to another using the Galilean transformations. So using these Galilean transformations here for the changing the reference from observer and relating it with the reference frame of earth, what we will have? We will have the value saying that V dash, this one V dash must be equals to V minus the capital V for observer. Okay. So here we have the velocity saying this is the V component for well, this is the component V dash is for according to the observer, and V is the component associated with the earth. So this is the velocity with respect to the earth, velocity of air with respect to earth, and velocity of air with respect to observer. Okay, so this is what it is. You consider all the things here. I think I am reducing the complications for you. Okay, so this is the equations here. So we will put the values step by step in this equation, and we will end up having our result saying that this is equals to minus j cap Vy dash. Remember, I written it from here. Yes, this is what it is according to the observer. This is equals to minus j cap Vy dash, and this is equals to I cap Vx dash plus j cap Vy minus 2 I cap. This is equals to the I cap Vx plus j cap Vy, writing this one. This is the particular equations according to the earth velocity of air. Velocity of air with respect to earth, I written it here, minus our velocity of observer saying which is the 2 I cap minus 2 I cap. Okay, we have our values here. So we will get values like keeping this one is here and this one to there. What we will have our values saying Vx is equals to 2 and Vy is equals to minus Vy dash. Comparing the coefficients, of I cap and j cap. When we will compare these coefficients, what we will have? We will have Vx is equals to, this is the I cap here and this one is again the I cap. Vx is equals to 2 km per hour. Yes, Vx is equals to 2 km per hour, and Vy is equals to minus Vy dash. Okay, so this is the relation for both the velocity components here. This is our first condition in which we have find out the velocity. This is the x component here, this is the y component. We will use put all these values and we will get the velocity with respect to the frame of reference of earth here. Okay, so we have got these values here, and we will discuss the second condition. The second condition in which the observer increases its speed as double of its original, and then what we will have. So let me be aside, you can take a screenshot for your reference and then we will proceed further. Okay, so hope that you are done with your screenshot. So let's proceed with the second condition. So now in the second condition, the velocity of observer, by now the velocity of observer is doubles of its original. The original velocity was 2 km per hour. So what should be the velocity by now? The velocity you say is equals to the 4 km per hour, and it has component I cap associated with respect to it. Okay, so this is what the velocity of observer by now. So we will again use the same condition here. Okay, so this is the quadrant here, and you know that a quadrant is having the angular representation here. The quadrant must have an angular about 90 degree. Okay, the quadrant must have an angle here as 90 degree. So this particular northeast direction will divide the angle 90 degree into equal angles, and for equal angles the value is raised up to 45 degree. Yes, the angle will now become the theta will equals to 45 degree because it is dividing this quadrant in two halves, because this is the northeast direction. You remember that this one is the northeast direction, so it will divide the quadrant of northeast in two in two equal angles, saying the 45 degrees each. And for the 45 degrees, and you can say that this could be the equals to the pi by 4, and this particular northeast direction will have associated component for the x-axis and for the y-axis both. So by now the velocity of air with respect to earth so now the velocity of earth with respect to the velocity of air with respect to earth becomes velocity of air with respect to earth, and this value will be equals to minus v dash. Well, this is minus v dash in that sense, in this sense this is the minus v dash here, I cap cos of pi by 4 plus j cap sin of pi by 4. I cap cos of pi by 4 plus j cap sin of pi by 4. Here cos pi by 4 and sin pi by 4 represents the horizontal component and the vertical component respectively. Cosine represents the horizontal component and sin represents the vertical component associated within the northeast directions. Okay, so now v dash again equals to, so this will equals to minus v dash I cap plus j cap divided by root 2. We have substituted the value of cos of pi by 4. You remember the value of cos of pi by 4 or sin of pi by 4 are equals, and the value is equals to 1 by root 2. Okay, I think that you have got the concept till here, and now we will proceed and